When you read the script, what was kind of because when I watched the film yesterday, I was so surprised at how moving the story of Caesar was, and almost by the end, I was like, you know what, the humans kind of deserve their comeuppance. So when you were reading it, was this kind of a similar experience? Or?
It was absolutely the same kind of emotion that I went through. It was very heartbreaking. I've rarely been moved to tears reading a script, and this was one of those scripts. And I think the moment I put down the script after having read it, my very next instinct was to go online, to go onto YouTube and to research the stuff that I had read about in the script. Then finding out how, I mean, I always knew that it existed, but to find the depth of it and how far we had gone, you know, in kind of torturing these animals, made me feel extremely uncomfortable about just sitting in my seat and not doing anything about it. And I'm not a primatologist by, you know, profession.
Right.
I mean, I could be an environmentalist because I propagate everything that, you know, I feel that will be good for a green, peaceful world. But I felt like this film could be that little piece of work that I could do in order to start a conversation, because I was playing a character that was the voice of reason and the voice for the apes, the human voice for the apes. And it was like a dedication to someone like Jane Goodall or Diane Fossey for all the work that she had done. So I instantly grabbed this opportunity and auditioned for it, and I said, I want to do this. I really want to do it.
And to work with someone like Andy, who is... he's so lovely. So, but like, you know, to be able to kind of watch him do variations of baby Caesar versus adult, what was it like for you? And did it help? Because obviously when you hear about motion capture, you think dots, you know,
dots.
At least
dots
I do.
in a gray suit.
Exactly. So this was the first time, like, it felt like he can interact with people in a way that was maybe opening for you to maybe react in a nicer, you know.
It was, definitely a very different way of doing it, but I feel it's a better way of having done it rather than using real apes. First of all, we're talking about, you know, animal cruelty in the film, and the last thing you want to be is guilty of using them in the film. So with having Andy on set and with his extremely in-depth knowledge about how to deal with motion capture, and more importantly, having, you know, every piece of knowledge under his belt as far as chimpanzee behavior goes, he was the perfect person to take this film forward, and he is the heart and soul of the film.
Now, I love the fact how, since Slumdog and now, you've been working a lot, girl. I mean, it's really nice, and so I'm very proud of you know, Asian. So therefore, but do you feel like it's been an easy ride, or do you feel like it's really, you still kind of have to, I don't know, prove yourself in a way that
I think you have to prove yourself in this, as far as this industry goes. You will always feel the pressure of having to prove yourself. But I guess you don't have to lose yourself while doing that. I mean, you can still be yourself. You don't have to pretend to become someone else in order to do that. But yes, there are people out there who are paying for that movie ticket. So you bloody well do a good job on the film, you know, or else you're just going to be disappointed and they're going to think it's a waste of their money, and the studio's going to think it's a waste of their money too. So I guess I have to prove myself, and I always have this kind of an ambition to outdo myself, you know, with every film, because I don't want to be repetitive and I don't want to have to be typecast as that girl who always plays that kind of a role. So yes, it's a good pressure, the pressure that I like.
Now I know that you know, you worked on Immortals, and then you came from. How did that film help you with preparation for this, or was there any kind? Do you feel like it's almost because it's almost a different type of a acting brain to be able to play against a green screen?
That was an amazing film itself, which already had unlocked my imagination, because that film required a lot of imagination as well. As much as Tarsem, you know, went all out and created living sets for us where we could feel all the environment that we were talking about, you know, all of that was there. But for us to not use imagination would be our own loss, you know, our performances would suffer. So I guess he had unleashed that imagination already, and to take it forward and move into a new technology like Weta, it was like moving one step forward. I just feel it is amazing that with every movie I get exposed to a new technology, a new idea, a new concept altogether.
Now, I know that in this case, Weta kind of created the technology where you're able to shoot outside and do all this kind of... Now, when you're shooting these crazy scenes like the one on the bridge and stuff, I have to ask you, are there any favorites that while you were shooting, you're like, I can't wait to see this on the big screen? And you have to play a favorite in this film. Is there anything that you kind of were really excited?
I really couldn't imagine what the bridge scene would look like, because they had like this amazing piece of green screen put out there, but how deep or how wide or how massive it was going to be, that we were going to see only in post. But I feel one of my favorite scenes to have shot was, it's actually a very emotional scene. It's when we take Caesar to the animal shelter. I mean, we don't take him, but he's taken by animal control, and we try to rescue him. And just to see Andy's performance behind that glass slab, where he goes all out, and it literally took my breath away when he did that, and it made me choke, literally. I couldn't wait to see that. And that performance, I guess Andy's performance out there was so real and true to what he did in the motion capture suit, that makes me feel really happy to have been, to share that screen space with him.
I know you're going to Toronto with this Winterbottom. It must be amazing to kind of go and represent a dramatic film, and what can you maybe tell us what that film is about, and kind of.
I'll tell you what it is in short, because I don't really, since the film's not really out and I still haven't seen it, I don't really want to say much about it. But it's a modern day contemporary version of Tess of the D'Urbervilles, which is a Thomas Hardy novel, and we've all seen Roman Polanski's Tess, and it is set in India in present day. So I'm very excited about doing it, because it's the kind of films that, the blend of films that I do that keeps me very excited and keeps me yearning for more. It's the big budget films, and then you have the independent
and to be able
films.
to go back home to shoot.
And to go back home and shoot, exactly. I mean, I feel very happy for British directors like Danny Boyle and Michael Winterbottom, who shoot back home, which makes me feel very comfortable.